As you all know, he closed his deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion on Friday. And since then, he has laid off a lot of the top leaders of the company, including the CEO. He's fired the board. And, there's word that he will lay off between 25 and 75% of the staff in the next few days.
So he's done all of that. There's a whole lot of discussion as well about setting up a new type of board about whether to let people back in, such as Donald Trump. He's talking about charging for a premium experience on Twitter. How much do you think he is going to change the company?
I think we can expect a lot of change. I think that the challenge, though, with someone like Musk at the head of Twitter is that we don't know what to expect to happen. So he started with $19.99 as the charge for verification and is now at $8. He said a lot of things about the content, the way that he wants to moderate content, but yet hasn't made any of those decisions. So I think we should all be anticipating a lot of changes, but I don't think it's easy to be able to predict what those will be.
Where do you think all of this is going? Where do you think Twitter's going to end up in 5 months, 10 months, a year?
The truth of the matter is that with somebody like Musk at the helm of a company like Twitter, it's really hard to predict where Twitter is going to end up. But I do know that if we continue to allow high growth, advertising driven businesses to be what is governing what we are calling our digital town squares, we are going to be in a really, really, really tough position, not only in 5 months, but likely in 5 years too.
And there are plenty of people who aren't on Twitter who are just thinking, why should I care? Why does this actually matter what happens to this company? Why should people care?
So it does matter. I think that if you don't care about democracy, if you don't care about how people are able to relate to one another and whether we're creating societies where everybody feels as though they have their place, then you probably shouldn't care about what's happening with Twitter. But I think today, Twitter, Facebook, these public social media platforms are in fact where we're building a lot of our community and our relationality and our ability to understand one another. These used to be our PTAs, our unions, the local newspaper. But over the last 20 years, these things have disappeared. And in its place, we've allowed things like Facebook and Twitter to kind of be that connective tissue. And so in order for us to have healthy democracies, we need that connective tissue to also be healthy.
And for that, you want to have an alternative vision, a place where, as you said earlier, multi-billionaires aren't in charge of it. What is your vision for that?
Well, our belief is that, one of the reasons why we're in this predicament is because we've allowed venture-backed innovation to be driving what is creating the public square. And in fact, we think that just like in our offline lives, we really build a lot of inspiration from real town squares it is that all of us may participate in. These are likely publicly funded without necessarily needing to maximize for growth and engagement in the way it is that these digital platforms have to be able to serve their real customer, which is not us, the people, but advertisers. And so New Public, the organization it is that I co-direct with Eli Pariser, is really thinking about how you would build healthy digital public spaces that are inspired by the parks and libraries that surround us.
It's a really interesting idea and one that is certainly worthy of some thought. Deepti Doshi, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.